Hello everyone, welcome to JI Insights. And what a week it was. No one had expected that sudden downfall that occurred in as a result of international market, news in the international news market, which impacted our stock market as well. So I'm going to give you a quick lecture and guidance on how the week of 9th September will look like. There's a lot that is happening in stock market, and if you would have watched my previous videos, I was very clear about that there is a time to be cautious, right? And while the markets are peaking out, so if you see my last video on 26th of August week, I very well told that the markets are kind of peaking out at both the sides of the Atlantic, right? So I think it's 1.17% correction in Nifty that we have seen. A correction is always healthy, where investors also get a chance to relook at the or maybe do a kind of a re-rating for a stock, right? Particular stock. And it's a very great opportunity for investors, that they should be looking at these kind of opportunity to find their right stocks where they can invest. Because as you would have heard me in the last video, the stock markets were peaking and the intrinsic value of stocks were like too high, right? So I think this is a time where you can see a lot of your favorite stocks, you know you getting them in a reasonable price, right? While the market sentiments are very very fearful, the market in US, we saw two consecutive crashes. I would say crash in the sense 1%, 2% fall in Dow Jones. So is this the kind of downfall or market trend that we will be seeing in next week for a Nifty 50 or Bank Nifty? I think we are going to see what would be those factors, and how could we perceive the market, right, from an investor standpoint or from a trader standpoint. Well, I'll go ahead on my slide with giving you some updates about international market, right, what has happened, and what is my perspective about these updates coming in, right? So as you know, on Friday there was a news that the US payroll data has not been as per the expected lines. US payroll data has declined. They were expecting kind of 1 lakh 60 jobs to be created, but they could only create 1 lakh 42,000 jobs in August month. While this was kind of a negative news, but the employment rate actually take as per their expectations, right? This was something, right, which Fed was expecting, right? I mean, if you see my previous video, the Fed has actually planned that they will do a rate cut, right? The so-called rate cut that will be coming in September. These are some of the instances that they're quite aware of, right? So this is a data which they might have an optimistic or pessimistic view about, 160,000 jobs being created. We really don't know what Fed really thinks about, right? Is 160 jobs, 60,000, 1,60,000 jobs that Fed is talking about, is it pessimistic side of the estimate or optimistic side of the estimate? If you see, the data is not so bad. So if you see the difference between 1 lakh 60 and 1 lakh 40 thousand jobs created, I think there is only a difference of 18,000 jobs, not getting created, right? So I don't think this is a very bad news. It is a kind of a negative news, but it is not a very bad or very negative news that I would say that the investors are taking it like that, right? So maybe this is just a panic mode or panic button, but I believe this data is not so negative, right? And this is the kind of news that Fed is actually expecting, and that's why they're going to do a rate cut. This is something which Fed has already taken into account, and that's the reason they have actually. If suppose if the data comes as per the expectations, right? Uh, you know, suppose think about a scenario that the August payroll data comes like 161 lakh 60,000 above, right? Then there is no reason for making a federal rate cut, right? Would there be a reason? There will be no reason, right? So I think this is like, so here in towards my right also, if you see there immediately there is some reaction from the federal member committee, right? People Williams say, Feds Williams says it is now appropriate to cut the interest rates, right? So there is, I think this is just a panic button kind of a thing, but there is, now this is actually absolutely clear to the Fed also that, that now it's time to, start cutting the federal, rate cut, and that will come, right, in due time as they have planned. Now, there are also news in the market that people are saying that, there will be a big rate cut. So I think these are all rumors, right? This is, I mean, there might, people can say a number of things, right? But if you see this holistically, right, this data is not, only 18,000 jobs not being created, in August. I think this is not, I think my perception is that Fed, in July they revisited this, whole thing that what they want to do regarding the rate cut. And in July they took this decision that no, we'll wait till September to do it. It's the federal meeting happens on every, second month. So we'll have a federal meeting. If even federal decides to go for a 50 basis rate cut, right? So they will not, trying to will not try to trigger a market sentiment that, the federal committee didn't take a decision in the right time, right? So there is a very high possibility, while there will be, articles talking about, but my assessment of the situation is that 25 basis point rate cut is imminent and it will be coming. This is the kind of data that Fed chairman or the committee would be expecting, and as a reaction of it, right? Or they have planned, not even reaction, but as a proactive step, they are taking. They have already announced it that they'll go with a rate cut. So I hope I'm able to make you understand. So there is a lot of things that we have to go onto this, updates before we actually make a conclusion. While now everyone is actually selling the, their stocks and their portfolios, everyone gets into a race, right? At the end of the day, I think we should not do that, right? Because if you have created a portfolio and you have sitting at a good profit, and if you believe in India's growth story, right? I think there's a lot of news that is coming that, the World Bank has. So we'll just see in the next slide. The World Bank is actually quite optimistic in India's growth story, right? So if you're going to sell your portfolio without even thinking, just because everyone is doing, I think it's going to, just put you at a, wrong place. One other thing that you should look at, because of this news, right? The market in US have corrected two times, right? So do you think that it will still continue, right? The answer is no, right? Because now they are oversold kind of a situation, right? So definitely there'll be a, reversal that we'll be seeing next week, right? There is a very high possibility. Now, the other thing is that the sell, the panic was created due to the sell-off in Nvidia, right? Why there was a Nvidia? Because this stock was actually overbought at, in previous quarters. It was over because of the AI craze. But people have been like having a lot of hopes on, this company has delivered good result. If you over expect, of course it will not do, right? I mean, overall, so whenever you are investing in a company, you have to invest from a long term value proposition standpoint, not a short term. If you are investing in a company, you have to give that company a chance to grow as well, right? So there is over expectations on Nvidia while this technology is still growing up, right? I'm coming from the same sector where, all of these works are going on. This is not so easy, to create a AI and machine learning ecosystem, right? Where you apply these algorithms and machine learning and AI investment going to be, right? There's a lot of research and development. There's a lot of, effort, time will go on, right? So it's not easy that, you can be expecting right now. While Microsoft and companies like Amazon, Meta, everyone, top companies are pouring billions of their dollars. I think we have to still give them adequate time, right? Because this technology is really there to help humans, right? It's not going to make humans, jobless. I think that's a wrong notion. The AI is going to there to support the humans, right? They will make the work of human beings very easy. We'll see that, some of the jobs will get redundant, but there'll be a lot of jobs that will get created because of AI ML. This AI ML is a great disruption, technology disruption, but we have to give time to it, right? So I would urge the investors that wherever you have invested, you might have some thesis, right? You might have some understanding of why you have done it, right? So stay put, just without thinking, sell your portfolios, because I think there is a lot of agenda driven news in the market, and you have to stay put, right, on your best stocks which you have selected. I think this is pretty much it from an international news standpoint. I've given this green because I believe the market is oversold. I think this news is not so bad. I believe that, the right sense will prevail, after all, 1%, 1.5% correction is quite healthy. I think there will be a quick reversal because of these, reasons that I've just, showcased in front of you, right? While at India, right, domestic level, we have both sides, right? So I'll give you a quick gist of, what I believe. So the top news is that the foreign investors' portfolios, right, the foreign portfolios investors, right, FPIs, the so-called FPIs, right, they have the big money, so they have 17% of, uh, you know, investment are belongs to the FPI, right? And approximate 16-17% belongs to DI. I mean, so FPI invested 11,000 crores in India in the first week of September. Will US jobs data increase? So I think I mean, this could be a positive news for India, I would believe, because the Indian economy is kind of showing a lot of resilience. I think this is a step in the right direction if we start getting the foreign portfolio investor money. I mean, I believe that if this trend that will continue, definitely we can see a quick reversal, and even, something which, give a new high to the, Nifty 50. Goldman Sachs have given a sell signal to SBI, right? So I've like spoken previously, right? The banks are not enjoying that kind of deposit growth, right, or the credit growth into the equity from the last 2 quarters, right? This is a kind of news, but I think this is something which we all know, right? The banks do not have that kind of deposit growths, right? And for this, you might be seeing recently there are a lot of banks, right, which have started increasing their fixed deposit rates to attract investment, right? So I think that's one of the kinds. Next news is World Bank hikes India's economic growth projections to 7% for this financial year. While these things were happening, I think the opposition party has been making a lot of comments and accusations regarding the Sebi chief, right? While when they have, shared all of this data, they have not given any proof, right? I think this is not the right thing to do, right? As brutal as I can be, right? While I'm not supporting any party, right? Nor the opposition, nor the, party in power, I without giving any substantial proof, right? I think, and talking about SEBI chief, because she is the market regulator chief chairman. So if you are going to do that, there could be people who can feel panic. They should substantiate this with a proof. So there is accusation made by the opposition, but the ICICI Bank and Vocard Group have come back and they have denied all these charges, right? So I would say this is a neutral news, but my only suggestion to the opposition be, if you're coming with some data like that, I think it's very important that you show some proof. Otherwise, this is nothing. It's just talks, right? And anyone can talk like that against anyone, right? Let's look at the Nifty levels for this week, right? This is the Nifty 50 chart, right? As you see that, let me just quickly in a daily. Let me just show you in a daily. So if you see, the Nifty is on a critical uh, support right now. Okay, so it is at the 50 EMA, right? the 20 EMA is actually at the top, right? It's over the TEMA line, right? So which shows that there could be some kind of a potential uptrend. And like I've told you that, we have to make sense of these news, right? Now, because of these news, already the reaction has happened, right? There is so much of investor level that has lost, right? Now, I think what could happen is that this could be a as there has been a sharp retracement or sharp decline, there could be as fast as this, there could be a fast retracement also, or maybe the fast reversal back to 25,000 levels as well. So we have to be careful. Market is at a critical juncture. It has a critical support, right, at 24,820. While this is the kind of a big red candle that has played out, but what I believe is there is a big chance that the Nifty will try to cover its grounds to 25,000 levels. While this happens, our intermediate levels are 24,868, the first level. The second level is 24,925 level. And then if this if it goes, if above, right, 24,925, right, with a green candle, right, green candle in 15 minutes, if you see, and if the green candle sustains, right, then you can go and take a call option till 25,000 upside level. Okay. uh, Now, once this happens, right, after 25,000, I think we have to be a little cautious, right? And I'll bring a new video, to guide you up, right? But if the if the upside trend is too high, there's a strong potential of reversal to 25,100 level as well, right? So this is something that we should look out for. Yeah. But if in case, so this is, the stock market is always a game of probability, right? So I'm not here that to mention that okay, this is going to happen, right? Absolutely no one knows what is going to happen, but the probability of having a sharp reversal is quite high. But if in case, if there is a bad news coming from that, so we should be expecting the Nifty to go for the downside at 24,700 levels. And if this, if there's a strong, downside move that continues, like the steep decline, then it might also go to 24,500 levels, right? So this is 24,500. Okay. On Friday, FPI had just sold 720 crores of their portfolio, right? And DIS bought some 2,100 crores of portfolio. So if you see that FPS have not been selling a lot, right? They have not been selling a lot. The only reason is because of this reason only, that they don't have so much of confidence in the US stocks currently because of the US data coming in, right? So if you see that if FPIs have sold just 720, right? 700 odd crores of money, and DIs have bought 2,100 odd crores of money, right? So where is the difference, right? Basically, who sold it, right? So it was in my theory, I think it was due to the panic button between the details and the high value investors. If you see the market, Nifty level is still intact. If you see, right, the structure is still intact, of course. So if it comes beyond, right, 24,000 or something, then of course we'll have to think about we have to worry about the structure of the complete Nifty, right? But if you see right now, the structure of Nifty is quite intact, and we are still in the bull mode, and I believe there is still strength with the bulls to come back into market and reclaim the high mark, right? So this is pretty much it. I hope you like the video. So thank you. We'll meet you the next time.